it was already pushing it with the Part 1 remaster. And the way I look at it, like Resident Evil 2, which was already, the original was one of my favorite games of all time before the remake. But that game came out in 1998.
It had to be remastered.
An old game.
It's a 32-bit game.
Yeah.
It looks ridiculous. Resident Evil has changed so much.
Totally.
It's a different style of game. It doesn't have the tank controls. Like, totally makes sense why you would remake that. Even going from PlayStation 1 to GameCube with Resident Evil, the original, like the first one was basically a launch title and was just a very archaic PS1 game. And they like tripled the game with the GameCube remake. So that I was okay with, and the graphics look 10 times better. Then you have something like Resident Evil 4, where that came out in 2005. And when it first was announced, I was like, why would you remake that? We already have the over-the-shoulder kind of gameplay. The gameplay loop is the same. That game still holds up as like a masterpiece.
You sound like all of the haters.
I know.
You're being a real hater right now.
100%. But I also realized, I'm like, okay, I went back and played 4 a little bit, and it hasn't aged as well as you think it has in your brain. And it's still like a PS2 GameCube game. There was enough there to remake it and make it worth, I assume. I'll let you tell me if you have you played the original Resident Evil 4?
No.
Just the remake? Okay.
Yeah.
But you liked the remake.
Yeah.
Everyone loved the remake.
Yeah, that's your favorite.
It's a beautiful game.
Yeah. But it's still totally built from the ground up. Like it's like remaking a movie. Like it's a new team and you're making something new with a new kind of lens, and there's enough different there while keeping the nostalgia. Last of Us, to my understanding, they didn't add anything. They had already remastered it for 4, and then they said basically they built it from the ground up again, but everything happens the same way. It's all seems the same to me. So I don't understand where a $50 to $70 investment would be worth it when I have the PS3 and PS4 version.
Totally. To me, it's what you said about like remaking a movie. It feels like for The Last of Us 2, Part 2, it's like they filmed the same exact movie with like a better lens. You know, like they went back and shot everything on the same camera with the same actors. And like, we're like, we actually got a lens that's like $1,000, like $1,000, not a lot. Like a really nice whatever lens. And now it looks crisper and the colors are more rich. And I think, yeah, for me, I've played the game. I own the game still. I loved the game. I loved Part 1. I loved Part 2. I'm not buying the remaster. They're not selling that to me. I'm not the audience for that. And I loved the game. I think it is for someone who missed out at the time. They missed the boat. They missed the hype. And it's sort of like a new hype of being like, we remastered it and we added a few scenes.
Also because the show is out now. That's like garnering a larger audience.
That is exactly.
So they're like, oh, cash grab.
Yeah. So I do feel like it's a cash grab. Granted, they're making changes. Yes, they made it a little bit cleaner looking. Yes, they added a few scenes. I think if you bundle a remaster with DLC, I think that's a really fun idea. You're adding something at least to the game that didn't come before, and then I think it's worth like a $50 price tag. But $50 to me, that's a whole nother game.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not worth it.
At minimum. First, I'd have to be like obsessed with the series.
Yeah.
And you would need to give me at least, I'd say, 5 more hours of content for me to. That's a minimum. And that's for something I'm obsessed with.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm sorry. If I'm paying that much money
totally.
for like a remake, you know, there's so many options out there I could buy 5 indie games for that title, you know, for that price. And,
True.
And get enough out of it. And for me, it's like Last of Us 1 came out in 2013, I believe. Which
was it?
Yeah. So
I thought it was 2016. I'm off.
And it's PlayStation 3 game. So like getting that upgraded, even though I wish they changed more.
Totally.
I get it.
Yeah.
But with Last of Us Part 2, that was a late PS4 title that came out, 2020?
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking they're also using not only the show as like the cash grab, but new console. They're like, well, now you get on PS5. And I'm like, I still have my PS4. Like, I can play the game. I'm not losing out on that.